Hey everyone, I'm Lauren from My Something Beautiful Life, and today I wanted to show you my budget planner for 2024. Right now we have a crazy windstorm going on outside, and so I'm hoping that the mic doesn't pick up the sounds, but if it kind of sounds like the house is falling in around me, then you'll know why. Anyway, this is a budget planner from Happy Planner. I did do a flip through of this before, so if you're interested in just seeing how it comes normally, then I will leave that video for you, probably up here in the cards and then also in the description. But today I just wanted to show you how I've customized it to work for me. So first thing is that I added these two envelopes in here. Originally I had one for like food purchases, and then I had another one for like everything else. But what I have found to be more useful is that I have one for receipts that I haven't like verified yet or put on my spending tracker yet, and then the other one for receipts that I have. And so I will be making new like sticker tabs or what are they called, labels, sticker labels for these. But that's basically how I've been using them, and so that's really helpful. I love having that here in the beginning of the planner, and I really haven't filled out any of the pages that I have up here yet. I still want to, it's just not something I've gotten around to yet. So these printables are from Passionate Penny Pincher. This is from her money planner. I just got the digital version, and so I just resized the ones that I like to fit the Happy Planner 7x9 size. So I have a bill payment schedule, I have long-term financial goals, and I actually printed this one twice because I know that there's more goals than just 4 that I wanted to work on. And you can see these ones say 1-year goal, these ones say 5-year goals, and so I just wanted more than that. I may even relabel this to not say 5-year goals and just have this be like my goals for the year, which even though I haven't written them down, I know what they are. I just didn't go through the process of writing them down here yet. Then I have this password organizer. I just thought it would be handy to have all of the information in one place. The next page that I chose to include is the annual budget overview. So it has some categories filled in here. I will probably cover them up, at least some of them, because a lot of times when budget pages have categories pre-filled in, they don't actually work for me, and that's true here too. I mean, some of them are fine, but being that this is the expenses section and then this is all supposed to be income, like all of them are filled in, and I know I have other categories that wouldn't be included here, and so I will probably just redo them myself. And I love having a page like this in here because I like looking throughout the year and seeing how things are changing. How much am I spending on food one month versus another? How much are certain bills going up or down? Usually they go up, and so it's just something I like to be aware of, just to see the trends, because sometimes if you're only focusing on it 1 month at a time, you can't really see where things have changed, or I should just say it's harder to see how things have changed and oftentimes how they are going up, and so that's just something I want to be aware of. So I do plan to go back and fill in the previous months. I mean, we're only in the beginning of March, and so I only have a couple to go back and fill in. So I'm planning to do that too. And then here is like a grocery budget expenses page. I don't know if I'll actually do this. I don't know if it's actually worth it. I mean, basically you're putting in every single time that you go to the grocery store, and I don't know. I don't know if that's worth it for me, but we will see. I do think it's kind of interesting to see how much I spend on food. So I think it would be useful to have. I just don't know if I'm actually going to go back and do it. Okay, and then I haven't done anything here. I'm not sure if I will, because we actually have these pages too, and these are the ones that I'm going to go through and I'm going to put in reoccurring bills. So the thing like maybe like yearly subscriptions, things like that. I could even go through and put in monthly bills. Ooh, I like that. I might do that too. I might actually go in and put in like all of my bills just to kind of see how it fluctuates throughout the year, and then maybe I can know in the future which months tend to be heavier months just with the reoccurring things. Anyway, I just love these pages. I think this is a great way to get like a really large overview of how your year looks like quickly. And so I do want to definitely utilize these pages. I just haven't done anything with them yet. Another thing that I thought I would use, and I really haven't been, is this month, or this page before the months. So each month has one, and I like it. I like the unexpected spends category, but I just haven't been keeping on top of it. I still might try. I mean, again, we're only in March, so it's still a possibility. And then of course we just have some note space here. And then we just get into the months. And so I'm going to show you how I've customized these. I am going to show you with some blank pages, but I think it'll be good enough that you can get a good idea of what I'm doing. Okay, so then the first one I'm going to go to is March. So again, I haven't even filled out my calendar yet, but this is my list of bills that I have every month. And so I will use this list and I go through and I add them to my monthly calendar. I love having a monthly calendar for my bills. It gives me a really good idea of how far apart things are due, and it helps keep me on track better than just a list does. My brain actually works really, really well with monthly calendars, and so I like to utilize them in lots of different ways. And so having all my bills written out is one of those ways. I do also color code them. So I have a category for manual, so things that I need to actually go in and manually pay, things that are auto debited. This one is if it goes on the credit card. This one is anything that is business related. It gets highlighted with the blue. And then this is this yellow one right here. This is just one of the bank accounts that doesn't get used normally. And so I just like to keep those types of things separate so I know what bill is coming out of where. And then I just have this list stored. This is like a sheet protector type pocket. It's made by Happy Planner, and I think it's made for like their stickers. It's the same size as the sticker sheets, and so I'm pretty sure that's its intended use, but I just wanted to keep my list nearby. And then I also have this bookmark just to mark the beginning of the month. So that's what I have for March. And now I'm going to skip over to April, and I just bent my page. So here's the blank April calendar. And then this is how I use the other pages within the month. Okay, so you have like this budget overview here. Again, I don't like that the categories were already filled in, and I tend to do my budget about twice a month because I get paid twice a month. Well, I get paid more frequently than that, but in general, like I get like 2 main paychecks a month. So what I've actually done is I divide this up into 2 sections. So the categories for this section are the same over here, so it's just a duplicate. It's not the whole month overview on one page. So this section is the income that I receive. I mean, it has a section up here, but this just doesn't work for me. Like maybe it's just because my income looks different than this. Like I like to know where the income's coming from, not just the numbers. And so this doesn't work for me. So I have income for here. So I have the first half of the month, the second half of the month. These are the fixed bills. So things that don't change, obviously. These things are variable. So like my spending money and what I spend on food, those types of things. And then I have a section down here for balances, which I actually haven't used this section yet. I just thought it would be a good idea. And I mean, it's there. So it's kind of like after I've done the budget, how much money is left over in each bank account or even in my savings account, something like that. So that's how I've been using this page, and it's actually been working really well. I love that it's divided evenly. Sometimes when they make a budgeting page, they'll have categories on both sides of the page, but they'll have like different sizes. So you can't really just duplicate it because it just doesn't work out evenly and it hurts my head. But I love that this one is the same on both sides. And so that works really well for me to be able to say like, this is the first half, this is the second half. Okay, and then I put in a notes page in each month because I use a lot of note space when I'm figuring out each of my paychecks. Basically, I will just go down the list and I put how much money is in the account, my cushion that I want to leave there just in case something comes up that I didn't expect, and then I take out the bills that I know are due. And all along the way, I'm doing the math so I know how much is left at any given point. And then at the end, I will see how much is left for like my variable things, so I know how much I can budget for those, and then how much I can put towards other goals that I'm working on. So I have the note paper for that. So I usually will do one half of the paper for the first half of the month and then the other side of the paper for the second half of the month. And that's been working really well for me too. Over here on this side, it has a savings tracker, which I do like that. Every time I put something in savings, then I just track it here. And then this section right here, it says accounts and debts. I have been using it for sinking funds. So I changed the categories up here. Oh, one thing I wanted to mention. Okay, so originally at the beginning of the year, I made stickers to cover each of these, like the words that were already here, and I just got tired of it. And so now I'm just crossing them off and rewriting them. So it doesn't look super pretty, but it's so much less stress for me than trying to make these teeny tiny little stickers and then laying them all out. So anyway, that's why I just have things crossed off to show what I'm actually using them for, basically. So this first column, I use it for category. So which sinking fund is it going into? And then I have a plus, a minus, and then the balance. So anything that I add to that category for the month goes here. Anything that gets taken away goes here, and then what's left at the end of the month. Sometimes I just use this section for extra note space, and sometimes it just stays blank, but that's basically how I use this page. One thing that I do really like about this Happy Planner layout is that it's so easy to actually change the things that are here and make them what I needed. Originally too, I also had some extra printables from the Passionate Penny Pincher Money Planner in here. Things that were like planning the month ahead and the overview at the end, things like that. But I just found that I wasn't doing them. And so it was almost just like it was in the way, because they were here in the planner and I would have to flip past them to get to the things I was actually using. And so I did just take them out. It's definitely things I would want to do. It's one of the reasons why I bought the digital version of the money planner to begin with, because I wanted to put them in here. And I do think it is a really good planner. But just the way I'm budgeting right now, it just didn't work for me, and it was just kind of an extra step, and so I did just take those out. So now I just feel like this is very basic and streamlined, and it's very much how I plan, and so I'm really liking that about it. The next thing that comes in the planner are these weekly expense pages. I like that they are divided up by week, but I will admit that it's kind of confusing me a little bit because I forget to look at the dates, and so I just sit there and I go through my bank and check the spending or the receipts and things. For one, I don't put them in order. I can't even try to keep all that straight just because I have expenses from so many different areas. My purpose of this in the past was to track the balance left in my bank account, and right now my purpose is to track what areas I'm spending money in. And so I don't necessarily care if they're not in order. I just want to get it all down in one place. And so I love that it's divided up by week. I'm just still trying to get used to that. And so sometimes I forget and I just keep going. So anyway, that's just my own user error. But I have found this weekly space to be enough room for what I need it to be. And I do really like breaking it down this way. Okay, so the way that I relabeled these, so I have date, expense description, and the amount. So I left those. And then this said need and want, and I changed it to category and the account. So like I said, I have things coming out of different accounts. I have things that are paid with cash. And so I wanted to track how it was spent. And so I have the category here because obviously that's what I'm tracking, the amount that I'm spending for each category. And then I wanted to see which account it came out of. So if I needed to, I also could see which accounts are getting used more often, or just kind of how I'm spending money. Anyway, that's just more useful to me to know where it came out of. And then if I need to go back and find it again, I will know which account to look at, or like if it was cash or something like that. So there are the weekly expense pages. And then at the end of the month, you have a notes page here, and then this like dot grid note page. This one I've just been using for notes for anything that comes up during the month, anything I want to remember. I think in January I made a list of all of the different sinking funds that I wanted to do, things like that. I think I may even made a list of the bills before I made my, let's see, where is it? Before I made this page. I made a list of the bills that I have to pay on this page just so I would have it referenced somewhere. So I love having that extra space just for anything that I need to keep track of. And then this page is my like end of the month review page. And for that, I'm going to go back to March because I started to draw it out already so I can show you how I use that. And so this is the chart that I made. So like I didn't finish drawing the lines, but I'll do that too. But this is how I'm seeing how much I've spent in the different categories. So what I'll do, and I got this idea from the Budget Mom, what she does in her Budget by Paycheck workbook, because I used to use that and it's just too much for me right now. So I was just trying to go to something different. But I did like that she has this kind of review page of the categories where money was spent through the month, and you can compare it to the previous month and then see if it went up or down. So I really like that idea, and so I recreate it on the last note page of each month. So there's category, how much was spent, what was spent last month, and then the difference. And so this number gets pulled from, let's go, okay, from these pages. So I will go through and I will highlight all of the different categories in a different color. So anything that goes into my savings account is one color, anything that gets spent on food is one color. So basically just all of the different categories where I spend money, They each get a different highlighter color, and then I can easily go through and add up how much I spent for each category, and I will probably just put that down here somewhere. I'm not really using these little prompts, so I'll probably just use this as note space at the bottom to track how much was in each category for that page, and then I can go through and add up each page. I mean, it's a lot of like individual math, but it works for me because I like the breakdown for every week. So then I also can see on a weekly basis which areas I'm spending more money in. And so this dot grid page at the back, that's how I'm using it. I'm just drawing out this chart to help me keep track of that. And then I can just review that each month. Also, I can use that information to go through and fill out that page I had in the beginning of the different categories. And that way I can track it on a year-long basis how each category is changing. And it's not necessarily good or bad if they go up or down. It's just information. I just want to know what it looks like. So that's basically it. Oh, I think at the end, okay, I'll show you the end. It's not like super exciting, but I have a tab up here. These are all dividers from Happy Planner. I have just some notes paper in here. I didn't put the notes pages in each month throughout the year. Oh, maybe I did. Okay, never mind, I did. But if I ever needed extra note pages for whatever comes up, I have some note pages there. And then this last tab here, it basically just goes to this pocket that I have in the back. And right now I just have some of my tax papers that I need for when I file my taxes. So I just have those put in here so that I will know where to look for them when I go to do my taxes. So that's basically it. That is my money planner. I'm really trying to keep it pretty simple this year. I have a tendency to try to overcomplicate my money, which I kind of like to some extent because I like the information, I like the details, but I've just found that I just don't follow through with it very often. So while I think it would be really interesting to go and see all of that data, like I just know that I won't follow through. And so if I keep it more simple, then I'll actually do it. And that's so much more important than having excessive information. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this video. And if you're interested in seeing how I set up my budget planner in an A5 rings notebook last year, you can check out this video right here. And I hope that you have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.